And welcome to the member meeting for March for FamiLAB. We are live on the, I think we're live on YouTube, and this is going to be recorded for prosthetics, whatever. This is going to be recorded for all to see later on. If you have a problem with that, please either leave the group, the meet, or, who cares? All right, Dan, money.
So the money situation, thank you. Forgot my notes. The money situation is still pretty decent. We actually, I think, may need to change the membership changes, but we're holding steady with membership. We got some donations, in both about $30 in the box, and we got our Amazon Smile. But I think actually technically we got the Amazon Smile came in just before the last member meeting, but it didn't make it into the notes.
You're the money person.
I know, it was my fault. So that was about $330. So thank you for spending money on Amazon and tagging us in it, or using Amazon Smile with us, or however it works. Just keep doing it. Thank you. And if your work uses it, yeah, especially if your work uses Amazon a lot, look up Amazon Smile and get them to do that, and say it's for FamiLAB or Orlando Hackerspaces.
Orlando Hackerspaces Inc. is our legal name, according to God.
Yes, it costs
or
you,
the IRS.
It costs you absolutely no more to do that, and a tiny little percentage of it goes to us, which is awesome.
A tiny little percentage of a percentage.
Yes.
It's like 0.1%. Which
0.5%.
0.5%, but that does add up, especially if your work's doing a lot of purchasing and they're willing to go along with it.
Yeah, other than that, we've got a good chunk in our bank accounts right now, though we may have to spend a little bit on AC problems, but that's but we're in good shape for it. So that's it. I'll just slowly slide off.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Are you still playing video games, Kyle?
Yes, I'm multitasking.
In case you missed it, after the annual meeting, the current board has decided to extend current terms for 1 year due to the year lost with COVID. With the sale of the property.
2 years.
Well, 2 years of COVID, but there was an entire lost year. The second year was kind of like, with the sale of the property ongoing this next year to new landlords and all of that, we felt unanimously that it was in the best interest just to extend the terms as opposed to replace practically all of the board in one fell swoop. The current board until annual meeting 2023 is me, President, Dan Burrows as our treasurer, Roger Flug is our treasurer to be, as in he's in training. Our secretary is Brian Zollman, and then the final rounding out slot is Jeffrey Hepburn currently. If you're interested in seeing what goes on running FamiLAB and the other minutia that goes on behind the scenes business-wise, our board meetings are on the calendar and they are open to the public, well, open to the membership at the very least. The only time that it's not open to the membership is if we're talking about personally identifiable information, but that rarely comes up, that we have to kick people out and talk about nitty-gritties. And as always, we remain committed to the #1 rule, be awesome and excellent to one another. If you do have a problem or you need to contact us, you can do so in any public channel by messaging, by putting in an @board. We can be emailed at board@familab.org, or there's a link in the agenda for the anonymous issue reporting form. After all that, router update. We have parts on order for the router. Our first order was canceled, and then they have had a few things out of stock, right?
Yeah, it was basically there was a bit of weirdness related to all the supply chain issues and them not wanting to sell certain things unless you were buying it in the big kit, which we weren't doing because we don't need all those things. But we've managed to figure out what we can get from the open builds and what get the remainder of it from other sources. So everything is back on its way again, hopefully for reals this time.
Failing that, we'll go steel crafted.
Hey, you know,
Whatever happens first.
it's not an either or.
Yeah. We are also rearranging some parts of FamiLAB and cleaning up a little bit of spring cleaning. Thank you to Kyle and Hamster, Chester, and Ming for helping out with that over the weekend. We raided the neighbors who got evicted. We got a few cool things, and we're just generally trying to tidy up.
And it also means building's not going to shake for music.
Yes, we won't have
Oh, sweet.
loud, boisterous concerts at odd hours of the night,
It was
or
that one
Unless
too?
we
Not
initiate-
just that one, but both.
they're connected
Okay.
units, and that one was actually a concert hall. And that also means that we won't have people complaining that we're doing industrial activities in an industrial complex. And as a general reminder, FamiLAB has 0 employees and it is 100% membership run. So clean up after yourselves. If you see a mess, see something that needs a little bit of attention, please do give it. We have all cleaning supplies labeled. And if there is something that needs to be ordered that is general cleaning supplies, please donate it if you can. If it's something that lab needs to purchase, let us know. Open for discussion section. If anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, etc., that they would like to have in the official timing minutes things, now is your time. We'll do introductions of new members after this. There's like 3 members on this call. I'm going to go on. Show and tell. Does anyone want to show and tell? All
This
right.
is my show and tell.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, hold on. All right.
There's a lot of show, not much tell.
So I said, hold on.
Yes.
Way to go get something. Victor?
Yeah, so I'm making these 3D lights and I bought a Carco lens so that it has a narrow spot. So there's a lens in the middle so that I can put a Cree LED lamp in the middle and so it's going to look like the flower is beaming out. I'm making a jungle in my house. So I'm
Okay.
using them as lighting.
That's pretty cool.
Right? That's what I'm making.
I bet he's gonna plant those everywhere.
Yeah, maybe they grow into something.
I'm trying to get to my
Hey,
screen.
PJ.
I'm presenting my screen real quick because Nafiz wanted me to show off this awesome guitar he's making.
Ooh, guitar.
So he's been working on this, and I know he just did the sanding over the weekend. And if you have never seen Nafiz or what he makes, he's awesome, especially if you are a musically inclined person. He's great to chat with. I will stop sharing. I will show my robot. That got very beat up.
It looks mostly in one piece.
It's mostly in one piece. One wheel is completely jammed, and the entire thing is just bent all to high hell. But no, this is a competition 2 weekends ago.
There is.
Who?
There is.
Oh, hey, Aaron.
Oh, hey, totally.
So that's fighting robots. Anyone wants to take a
It
look?
looks sharp. I'm not.
There
gonna
are
cut it.
sharp parts to it, so watch your fingers.
So cut it. Oh, from the closing of my prior company, we have some powder coating equipment. I don't know how to use it
Yet.
correct.
And the
If anyone
lab
wants to help me
appliance-
figure out how to get the bigger oven functional, we should talk.
And the lab acquired some new stuff as well, the TVs.
Yes.
No, the TVs, yeah.
Thank you,
I was
Mike.
gonna say,
And maybe a router.
Yes, thank you for TVs and powder coating stuff.
And 18 webcams that Kyle has that may or may not ever work. They're listening
A
to the Famiduino
couple of them.
cameras are, but
Oh, don't worry. We got
I haven't even plugged them in yet.
good. Sounds like work.
upcoming events. Open make for microcontrollers. Come hang out, work on projects together, share knowledge. That's coming up this coming weekend, this coming Saturday, April 23rd at 3 p.m. Open house, the next one will be the second Tuesday of May. That's May 10th at 8 p.m. Our next board meeting is that following Thursday, May 12th at 8 p.m. And the next member meeting will be May 17th at 8 p.m. We really like 8 p.m. And now we're going to have our new members introduced. Let's start with Victor, since he is the only one that is remote.
Hello, I'm Victor. I'm a software engineer. I've been doing it for about 8 years, and I recently got more into 3D printer and making my own microcontrollers and stuff for the stuff that I was doing. So I decided to finally get a FamiLAB membership and see if I can join you guys and see what you guys work on, and maybe I can get some help on some projects and learn some new stuff and hopefully share my knowledge too.
Oh yeah, cool. Does anybody have any questions for Victor?
How big is a tab? Is it 2 spaces or is it 4 spaces?
How big is a what?
A tab.
I don't know.
In programming,
Yes.
and when you're writing
That's a good answer. I don't know is a good answer.
Yes, that's probably the safe answer.
It depends.
I don't know. How big is a tail?
Tab.
Instead of asking
Oh, a tab. Okay. 4 spaces.
how big is a tab?
Oh, is it?
For me, it's 4 spaces. Well, I mean, depends how you do it. If you actually click in a tab, it's 2. If you click in space, it's 4.
The correct answer is whatever my employer tells me it should be.
Exactly.
Well,
So what are some things you'd like to teach us?
Will, let me see. I used to teach software engineering at UCF, so I have pretty good knowledge on JavaScript, a little bit of Python. I don't know. I feel like I'm a very creative person, so I'm a good problem solver. If that makes any sense. But other than that, I mean, I'm probably going to learn more from you guys than I'm going to teach.
It's a two-way street.
Yep.
What would you like to do with your microcontroller?
Ooh, so right now I'm trying to make a sort of a DAC out of a Raspberry Pi, mostly so I can basically get the audio processing in the Raspberry Pi so I can control the lights that I've been building visually through it. I don't want to just put a microphone because I hate the little delay there is between the beat and the actual light change.
So what did you plan on using to modulate the lights and sense the sound?
How do you mean? Well, right now I have a, what is it called? An ESP32, I think plus C from SparkFun that I'm using to control the lights. Basically made a WebSocket server that is listening to my Raspberry Pi. The problem I'm having though is I don't know how to read the audio signal from the Raspberry Pi.
Okay. What kind of signal is it generating? Is it like a What kind of input is the Raspberry Pi reading? Is it like a
I'm pretty much using a hat. I'm using the Hi-Fi Berry hack, the new one, the DAC3, which allows me to control or read from Python with Python. Basically a stereo RC, you know.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Victor. Will you be coming to the microcontroller meetup, hangout, open mic?
For sure. Thank you.
We're going to move on. Eeny, meeny, miny, you. Austin, because you're at the top of the list. Would you like to stay seated?
I would like to stay seated.
Here's a stool if you need to use it for something.
Hey, I'm Austin. I have been friends with DJ since middle school, and I checked out the place in I think 2016, and had been kind of interested, and then finally was in the right space to be like, okay, I've got time to devote to it. So I reached out about joining, and yeah, really excited to see what you guys are up to and get involved. I'm a musician. I play piano, guitar. I sing not well, and into Raspberry Pi projects. I'm an IT systems manager for a government contractor, so pretty good general IT knowledge. And I'm a amateur radio unenthusiast. I mean, I'm licensed, but I'm not enthusiastic about it. I don't have any current projects to share with you guys, unfortunately. But maybe I'll be inspired by being here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really good intro.
Did you
No.
It sounds like you wrote it out ahead of time. It's like you're applying for a job.
Let me walk with you.
Does anybody have any questions?
It's great though.
I do. I was kind of curious about you. You mentioned that the building is gonna be sold. I was kind of curious where you guys moving to.
Where our lease is, that's not a question for Austin. Where are we moving to?
That's not bad.
East Orlando.
Our lease is good through 2025, so we are not going anywhere anytime soon.
Sweet.
So we're still gonna be here.
Then after that, it's Austin's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, it's not Austin's
You
house.
got 3 phase?
I'll move the couch.
Became a family. I already got a new place.
Back in my day, FamiLAB was smaller than this room.
Oh God. It was like
Who's your
hard-
favorite Ninja Turtle?
Why is it
Michelangelo.
One's Michelangelo.
The orange one.
orange
With
one.
Oh.
the nunchucks. He likes pizza.
I love how you didn't even
They all like pizza.
Calabona, dude? Or is this
You got it.
longer?
Does anybody else have any questions for Austin?
If we were going to form a FamiLAB jam band, what would be your instrument of choice?
Keys, but I'd be okay with guitar.
Do you have a guitar? Can we split the difference?
Not yet.
You want to make one? Oh, I want to make one.
Ooh, that sounds. Oh.
I
Just
don't
get a
know.
keyboard and drill some holes inside it. Put the strap through it.
Yeah.
So what's the first project you're gonna start on, get halfway through, distracted, and start on another project?
Oh, so clearly you know I have ADHD.
Yeah, that's all of us.
Okay.
ADHD enough.
No, I really don't know.
Clearly, it's the guitar.
Yeah, the guitar sounded pretty good, to be honest.
Awesome. Thank you, Austin.
Thank you.
You're both new, aren't you? Rock, paper, scissors. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
My name is Will. I'm a carpenter. I've only been doing it for a couple of years. Always interested in making stuff. Never really had never really had space or the tools to really do anything. So hoping to change that by being in a bigger space. I can't really teach you guys anything.
Everybody knows it is good at something.
We'll find out.
And remember, to teach something, you only have to be 5 minutes ahead of the rest of the class.
Yeah, I was going to say there's the corollary to what Brian is saying, that everybody knows something they can teach. And like you know, everybody else.
Compound miter joint on crown molding.
Cut it upside down.
Don't do it. Hire a
Hire a
professional.
carpenter. Hire Will.
Who's your favorite Power Ranger?
The red one.
It's the one that's red.
No, but which era?
Oh.
Or that one episode that had all of it.
That's Jason.
You like that Spider-Man movie?
This was before the Spider-Man movie.
There's been so many.
Does anybody have any serious questions for Will?
Favorite random.
Do you do kind of like woodwork, like craft woodworking?
Did you do any woodworking?
No, I mean, most of my gigs have been kind of like maintenance jobs, so I haven't really done a whole lot of intricate stuff. Pretty basic stuff.
Brought you into carpentry.
I used to work a lot of service industry jobs, and I hated that. So after a lot of thinking, carpentry seemed to tick a lot of boxes, so kind of just pursued that. Yeah,
Pretty cool.
Favorite kind of framing joint? I don't know.
I don't have a favorite yet.
Fair.
Is there any tool
Takes a lifetime to
woodworking
develop.
area that you want to work with?
I have no idea how to use a CNC machine, but I could learn that.
Yeah. Nice.
Hope to have one functional soon.
Oh, okay.
We might just pick one up this weekend.
We'll have one partial.
To be unwrapped.
Yeah, currently the CNC machine, we started upgrades. The supply chain went to hell, and that's kind of where we're at.
Oh, that's all right. I'm not in any real rush to use it, so.
But if you talk to Dan, you can help get it operational. And
That's actually a really good way to learn how to use some of the tools is to fix them or work on them. Surprisingly, that's a really great way to learn how to use the tool.
well, awesome.
With you being a carpenter,
You know?
this is my youth pastor would say, you know who else was a carpenter?
I hear that so many times.
Do you really?
Yeah.
There's no original thoughts anymore.
Who? I'm confused. Who was a carpenter? Joseph?
Is there a scheduled time for working on the CNC machine?
One more time?
What about CNC machine?
This is George. Is there a scheduled time for working on the CNC?
There certainly can be. There isn't yet. We're waiting on the parts to come in. If as soon as they do, we can start posting in Slack about the status of that, and can figure out a time that works for people.
Okay, I'll Slack.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, bug Dan about it.
Yeah, bug me about
Then
it.
I don't have to do it as often. All right,
All right.
you're up.
Well, I'm Chris. I work at data analytics. And when I lived in Connecticut, I had a membership at a place kind of similar to this. And I liked having access to all the equipment and classes. And so when I moved back down here, I started looking for a place similar to that. So I've been designing a lot of furniture and SolidWorks that's designed to be cut out of plywood sheets with a CNC router. So I was excited to hear that you all have one. Heard it's kind of a work in progress, but it might be interesting to get involved in that. If there's like a way for me to get involved in fixing it, there's kind of a group effort. So
Yeah.
There might be some scheduled times coming up. I heard. Probably posted on the Slack. There'll be probably a little.
Bug Dan. That's Dan.
Yeah, that's
What kind of for like desks and like chairs and stuff, or is something like more esoteric?
let's see, well, I got a bed frame made, got like kind of a coffee table, got like a cat tower,
about
some of those
dressers?
things. Oh, sorry?
What about dressers?
No, I haven't gotten to the dresser yet. Also some other projects involving like Arduinos that I've kind of had in the back of my mind for a while, like kind of like a remote controlled Nerf turret is kind of one thing I wanted to make for a while. I don't know if that'll pan out.
I
But
think we've got a Nerf Gatling
That was
gun
a
somewhere
joke,
around
Daniel.
here.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
What was
Didn't know it would pan out as a Nerf turret. It's gonna pan.
The funny thing,
I didn't even think
so
about that.
there is
That
There is
joke
a-
killed.
there was a piece of software I was looking into a long time ago for like monitoring file stuff on servers, and it actually had a little like Nerf gun that would go off if it's actually had an alert. It was like part of the package, and you could actually buy it. It's ridiculously expensive, but it's just one little thing is you could shoot off a Nerf gun inside your server room. I have to look it back up. It was the most random thing ever to see.
Did you point it directly at like the power button on a server so it would reset? Like
That's
what
what
wrong?
I wondered.
Well,
Well, incoming reset.
Wouldn't it just be easier to position another computer and trigger the power CD drive to pop out and bump the button?
That sounds
Oh, that's a
great.
good idea too.
That,
Yeah,
that
sure.
feels very familiar. I feel like
Turn
I've heard
the-
that before.
Turn the racks.
Yeah.
Are you trying to build like a useless machine out of servers?
I think somebody actually did that.
Daily WTF had this one.
Yeah, there's a daily WM where somebody did that.
Really?
To keep to reboot the server, it would actually have a CD screen.
Yeah, and the computer itself was pinging the server every so often, so that when it stopped responding, when the server stopped responding, the computer sitting next to it would pop out its drive, restart the server.
I told Sam we would drag the meeting on. We kind of are.
Eventually, the server was virtualized and discontinued, but nobody knew what this computer sitting next to it did. So they shoved it off into a corner in an office, and it dutifully every 5 minutes kept spitting out its CD drive.
Favorite X-Men, go.
I don't know, Wolverine.
Fair, fair.
It's a fan choice.
So what's the first project you think you'll actually finish?
Well, I guess it kind of depends on.
Definitely not
certain-
something on the router.
Yeah. Would joining FamiLAB be the first project?
It was, yeah.
Cool. That would be a good project to finish.
Just,
Where in Connecticut were you and what brought you down, or back down here, I guess?
yeah, I lived in there for a year. I was working as a contractor for an insurance company up there. And just ended up working remotely during COVID. Like I came back down for my birthday, right? And that was like the day before the lockdown. So I was like, all right, well, I roll with remotely anyway. So I just worked on here and they said yes. And I just ended up staying. So
What was the makerspace up there that you're working out of?
I was called a Makerspace CT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unoriginal.
Yeah.
It's like our Orlando hackerspace.
I mean, at the time, we were the only hackerspace in the greater Orlando area. I mean, we're talking, when did we get
Almost
that?
15 years ago.
Yeah.
To be honest, you're the first result whenever I think when I searched up the domain. So I didn't even know there were more than.
There are technically 4.
4?
There's Orlando, or there's FamiLAB, there's Maker Effects, Factor, and the Melrose Center. Melrose is a makerspace, but it still comes up under searches.
But then would you consider the makerspace out of the science center of makerspace?
It's not a public makerspace because it requires
So there's 2,
money to get in.
us and Maker Effects. I don't count Factor.
Factor is more of an incubator.
Yeah,
They're an incubator hackerspace.
hella expensive, and they operate more like an incubator.
They have their niche.
They help
Like,
businesses get off the ground.
Oh, okay.
Except for, I don't know if they actually help in any way. I don't know because I haven't been there. in a
they
long
help
time.
you lower your tax burden as a business.
That's true.
They
By
tend to be more
charging
Like,
business
like
oriented.
we were.
Yeah,
It's
except
sort
for
of-
with
it's kind of,
it's different. They're good people, just very different.
Yeah, they tend to be more business oriented versus us tends to be more nonprofit, community outreach in that respect.
We tend to be more, come make whatever you want. Factors
Hey,
more
y'all
business
watch this.
oriented. Maker Effects is much more outreach oriented than we are. And they tend to do a lot with that because they're part of the Maker Effect Foundation. They're an outreach of the Maker Effect Foundation, which has its own overarching goal of overall community enrichment. It's also the foundation that runs Maker Faire Orlando.
It all comes full circle.
Yep, it all comes full circle. How did we get here?
We were talking to Chris about why he moved here
And other makers.
from Connecticut. Connecticut makes CT. Make CT.
It was just Makerspace.
Makerspace CT.
Where in Connecticut were you?
Sir?
Where in Connecticut?
Like downtown Hartford area.
Oh, Hartford, okay.
I flew into the Hartford.
I got married in Connecticut.
The Hartford is where a lot of people get workers' comp insurance.
More northeast of Hartford.
There's an insurance company called the Hartford, and a lot of people get workers' comp through it.
Home is where the heart is.
Yeah, random fact from your resident accountant. Maker.
Is anyone else do?
No, that's it. That's all of our new people. I think that we have dragged this out as long as we can drag it out. Sorry,
Sam, I'm sorry we tried.
Sam's not on the meeting.
No, Sam was rushing here.
And then they decided, no, I'm gonna say.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end of the meeting agenda. I'll get you guys your prospective badges here shortly. And Victor, if you'll be at the open mic this Saturday, I can get you your prospective badge then. Or Brian can. One way or another.
I'm not sure if I can make it. I have to go out of town for work.
Oh no! Well, we'll coordinate. We'll coordinate with you to get you your prospective badge.
Sweet, thank you.
Does anybody have anything finally that they would like to have added to the agenda? Questions, comments, concerns,
Silly joke.
silly jokes? Once, twice, thrice. And thus I say it is.
No.
Oh, boy.
Thank you for joining us for our
This
April.
month.
I said
April.
March at the beginning, didn't I? April member meeting.
420 tomorrow.
Pardon?
Tomorrow's 420.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What does that mean?
It's a pot thing.
Something.
Like
Like
cooking vessels?
I think so.
Okay.
I think that you need to
No,
smoke
more
your pot.
cinnamon.
So throw your pots in the smoker tonight. Get a nice flavor cooked into them.
It's more about baking than cooking.
yes.
Oh, then
Yeah.
that was good.
We should probably do
And thus concludes the official meeting.
You can stop recording now.
Be safe, everyone. Enjoy and make awesome shit.